Hi guys, Chris Duckman, body engineer. Just a quick refresher for you on the hand positions for workshop number 1. So we're assuming that the person you're working on has already done the self-help technique. So they've had their hands behind the head, roll the eyes to the right, wait for the sigh or the swallow, and then repeat to the left. That deactivates the ventral vagus nerve, and you're not going to be working through those fascial layers of resistance. Again, that can be done lying down or sitting, and we check the uvular pre and post exercise. Okay, so the first technique, remember, one hand under the base of the skull and your other hand across the top of the shoulders. Okay, so your fingers are across the top of the clavicles and your thumb is resting over the trapezius down the back, waiting for that sense of softening, widening and expansion. Okay. Your second technique, you're going to replace your top hand under the shoulder, but your thumb goes on the clavicle and your fingers run down the back, and your other hand goes across the bottom of the rib cage, again waiting for that softening, widening and expansion. Number 3, again we're moving down the chain. We go onto the side of the ribs and onto the top of the pelvis, again waiting for that sense of softening, widening and expansion. So technique number 4, I've modified this a little bit. You have 2 choices. Once we've repeated that on both sides, we can either hold the top of the hips together in unison and wait for them to both flare out, or the only issue with that technique, if it doesn't release fully within a couple of minutes, it starts to put a bit of load on your own body. So what we do, what I think is a preferred option, is to slide one hand under the tailbone, find the top of the hips, and just very, very lightly span them with fingertips and elbow. So you're getting a 3-dimensional release. What you're looking for is a sense that the tailbone drops and that both the hips flare out. Okay, what that does then is allow you to drop nicely into technique number 5, which is integration, where this hand is basically going under the base of the skull and you're waiting for that rocking motion. Remember, when you do this, you count up vertebra one by one from the base of the spine, L5, L4, L3, and any areas of resistance you'll feel as a blip. So by the end of it, there should be a much smoother rhythm. Okay, any questions, you give me a call. Take care.